What is it about the greed of winning that it's insatiable?
I hated to lose. I always thought there would be severe consequences for me if I lost. It was personal from that standpoint.
But how could you feel that way? Why
I just did. It's just the way it is. You can't. I felt that way because that's the way it was in my life. You know, from the first day that I came out of my mother's womb to the first time that I played competitive basketball. I just felt that I'm not going to let anybody take anything from me that I've worked hard enough to get. I think at times I tried to conjure up inside of me an emotion that was unhappy and made me miserable because that's what I took to my players every day.
What's good, y'all? I know this is a different kind of intro, different kind of video, as y'all can see from the title and shit. You know, I've been trying to do a little new series, I guess. I don't really got a name for it yet, but it's just kind of documentary type series I'll be doing in sports and music. So I really just want to give y'all an intro because I know it's something different, and you know, hopefully this shit go well so y'all be seeing more of these. So let's go.
Pat Riley was born in Rome, New York, but raised in Schenectady. He is the son of a former minor league baseball outfielder and first baseman who appeared in 4 games for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pat Riley played college basketball at the University of Kentucky, where he became first-team All-SEC, All-NCAA Tournament Team, NCAA Regional Player of the Year, SEC Player of the Year, and AP Third-Team All-American. After college, Pat Riley was then selected 7th overall by the San Diego Rockets and was also drafted in the 11th round by the Dallas Cowboys. After the San Diego Rockets, Riley was taken in an expansion draft by the Portland Trail Blazers but never played for them as he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. As a Laker, he was on the 1972 championship team and played a key role coming off the bench. During the 1975-1976 season, Riley was traded to the Phoenix Suns. After that season, he retired. Pat Riley returned to basketball in 1977 as a broadcaster for the Lakers. In November of 1979, Lakers head coach Jack McKinney was injured badly in a bicycle accident. Paul Westhead was moved up to head coach, and Riley was hired to be an assistant coach. The Lakers then end up winning the 1980 NBA championship.
And we have a new world champion. And I want to present the World Trophy to the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, the new world champions of basketball, and I'm proud to do it. And here you go, Jerry Buss, it's yours, and it's permanent. You keep it.
During the 1981 to 1982 season, Magic Johnson became disgruntled and wanted to be traded, as well as he does not want to play for Paul Westhead anymore. As a gesture to make their star happy, Jerry Buss fired Westhead and announced Jerry West as the next Lakers coach. West balked, and then Buss names West as the offensive captain and then named West and Riley co-coaches. West then says to the public that he was only there to assist Riley, and after that, Riley was the Lakers head coach. Riley ushered in the Showtime era with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and became a celebrity in his own right. Riley won 4 championships as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, 1982, 1985, 1987, and 1988.
Being part of the team, I feel grateful to be alive and living in Los Angeles, and I'm guaranteeing everybody here, next year we're going to win it again.
Pat Riley won Coach of the Year for the 1989-1990 season, but stepped down after their loss to the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. After stepping down, Riley was an NBC commentator for a year before becoming head coach of the New York Knicks before the 1991-1992 season. In 1993, Riley won Coach of the Year and led Knicks to their best regular season record in team history. Riley also led the Knicks to the 1994 NBA Finals, where they lost in 7 to the Houston Rockets. In 1995, Riley resigned via fax to become the president and head coach of the Miami Heat and would have full control over basketball operations. At the beginning, Pat Riley saw minimum success as the head coach of the Miami Heat and then stepped down and was succeeded by longtime assistant Shaq Van Gundy after 2002 to 2003 season. Then in the 2003 NBA draft, the Heat selected Dwayne Wade with the 5th overall pick, and that changed their franchise.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Dwayne Wade from Marquette University.
Tom, we were there, and and watch Dwayne Wade single-handedly take Marquette for the first time in 26 years back to the Final Four when they beat Kentucky in the regional final in Minneapolis.
Then in July of 2004, the Miami Heat traded Caron Butler, Brian Grant, and Lamar Odom for Shaquille O'Neal. Wade and O'Neal then got all the way to the 2005 Eastern Conference Finals, but lost to the Detroit Pistons after being up 3-2. During that offseason, it was largely rumored that Pat Riley wanted to push Stan Van Gundy out and coach again now that the team was the championship contender. As reported by many publications, Shaq and Stan Van Gundy had a beef that helped push Van Gundy out. This is also supported by comments made by Shaq and Van Gundy towards each other after Van Gundy's departure. Shaq notably called Van Gundy a frontrunner and someone who's known to panic, as Van Gundy called Shaq a flop.
One thing I really despise is a frontrunner. So, I know for a fact that he's a master of panic. And, when it gets time for, his team to go in the postseason and do certain things, he will let them down because of his panic. And I've been there before. I played for him. So, like I said, one thing I really hate is a frontrunner.
Van Gundy and Pat Riley back and forth was not as televised as Shaq's and Van Gundy. After LeBron signed with the Miami Heat, Van Gundy went on a small rant where he said at the end, "You have a different opinion from Pat, then it's apparently stupid." Now, last year in 2024, Shaq released his book, Shaq Uncut My Story. In this book, Shaq discussed that he was angry when they insinuated that he helped force Van Gundy out and that the rumors were false. He also stated that he had no smidgen of control over personnel moves and that Riley and Van Gundy were arguing prior to Van Gundy's resignation. Also added that, "You think I wanted to play for Pat Riley?" As we know, Riley and the Heat, with Riley as the head coach, went on to win the 2006 NBA Finals. So the resignation of Van Gundy looked smart in hindsight, but clearly Van Gundy was forced out by Riley, who was only put in that position because Riley did not want to coach a rebuild. He forced Van Gundy out and painted it as Shaq and the players did, while Shaq later went back and forth from Van Gundy did not help the rumors. After the 2006 NBA Finals, Riley implemented rules to prevent a championship hangover, and this caused tension between Riley and the players. Riley required the players to come back 2 weeks early before training camp and be in shape. Shaq did not take kindly to this and showed him 1 day before training camp out of shape. Shaq was later injured in November and missed 35 games. He returned, but then Dwayne Wade dislocated his shoulder and was out indefinitely. The Heat went on to be swept by the Bulls in the first round. In the 2007-2008 season, O'Neal began to see career lows in points, rebounds, blocks, and a decrease in shot attempts. This season, O'Neal faced a plethora of injuries as well as serious foul problems. According to O'Neal, Riley thought O'Neal was faking his injury, and that contributed to the Miami Heat losing 15 straight games. During February 2008, Jason White Chocolate Williams was tardy to practice, and Pat Riley wanted Williams to leave, and O'Neal was not having it. This led to a heated argument between Pat Riley and Shaq, leading to a bunch of FUs, fingers put in chest, and much more aggressive maneuvers. Soon after this, Shaq was headed to the Phoenix Suns.
The problem with that was we had won the championship the year before, and they sent out memos for everybody to be in shape and to be back in the arena 2 weeks before training camp. Showed up the day before training camp, not 2 weeks before, and was out of shape like. So we already started that season off behind the 8 ball.
Got murked by 51 ring night by the Bulls.
Man, listen, we did not have championship habits.
No.
we was I was here because I lived in Miami, so 2 weeks ahead was easy for me. But GP, Antoine Walker, Pose, all them dudes talking about coming back 2 weeks before to start getting in shape.
Earl Barron.
Big Dookie, remember Earl Big Dookie? What up, boy?
Yeah, he was in the scouting team when we was playing the Mavs that year in 06 when we beat them. He was Dirk on the scout team.
That ain't what we called him.
Nah, we called him Dark.
Dark Nowitzki. Dark Nowitzki.
Oh my God.
Dark Nowitzki.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so then after that, the next day, so now the fast forward, Jay Will and Riles go through their little and Jay Will, I ain't never seen nobody foul off on Riles. So they firing off back and forth. And then Shaq and Riles get into it. That's when I just said, you know what, Shaq gonna kill this old motherfucker. Let me just try. Hey, big fella, you'll hurt this. Man, Shaq pushed me out the way, man, like a little shouted, man. I just walked away and went to shoot free throws like with D Wade. I said, man, I ain't getting into that shit, man. I ain't with that shit. I ain't never had no man handle me like that before in my life, man. I'm a grown-ass man, man. You was not finna be, I ain't gonna hit him. But tossed me out the way. I was like, I ain't with this. But
that's right.
The Heat finished the 07-08 campaign as an abysmal 15-67. Even though Shaq was on the decline in his career, he was still one of the first few superstars that Pat Riley ran out of town. In April of 2008, Riley decided to step down and stay behind the scenes while current head coach Eric Spoelstra started his tenure. The next 2 years, the Heat finished 43-39 and 47-35 respectively, and lost in the first round of playoffs both years. In the summer of 2010, the Heat got the best news in franchise history. LeBron James, the best player in the NBA, was a free agent and decided to leave his home of Cleveland to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to form the infamous Big Three.
This fall, man, this is very tough. And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
The Big Three was the beginning of a new era in basketball, and expectations were through the roof. Pat Riley was partially responsible for the pairing, but the relationship of the three, who were all drafted in the top 5 of the 2003 NBA draft, brought them together. In the Big Three era, the Miami Heat lost their first finals against the underdog Mavericks, where LeBron James underperformed. Coming back, the Miami Heat won the next 2 championships, and it raised the president of the franchise and the status of the players, coaches, and executives. Again, it is known that Pat Riley ran the team with the iron fist. During the 2013-2014 season, Pat Riley wanted the team to go on a diet, so he removed all junk food off the team plan. Known to only probably true LeBron James diehards, LeBron James has an affinity for chocolate chip cookies. After a game, LeBron James came onto the team plane looking for his chocolate chip cookies, and to his amazement, the cookies had been thrown away. He then responds with, "Did he know whose cookies those were?" And they told him that Pat Riley said, "I don't care whose cookies those were." Now, this is not the only incident where Riley and James bumped heads. When Miami played Cleveland in Cleveland, James wanted to spend the night for his homecoming, but Riley did not allow it. These incidents caused a drift in their relationship. After the Heat lost 4-1 to the San Antonio Spurs in the 2014 NBA Finals, LeBron left to go back home and make good on his promise. Now, I do not believe those were the only reasons that LeBron left, as the team was not good as it once was, and his Robert Dwayne Wade was clearly aging fast. But this is the second superstar that Riley has helped run out of town with his iron fist. I understand Pat Riley's commitment to the program and doing things the right way, the Miami Heat way, as we've seen in basketball history. The game is about Jimmys and Joes, pun intended. So it's essentially to cater to your superstar, even if it bends your rules a little. The year after LeBron's departure, the Heat finished 37-45. The next year, 2015 to 2016, they finished 48-34 and lost in the Eastern Conference semis. With the agent Dwayne Wade and some playoff success in the last season, you would think Pat Riley would show some reverence for his 3-time champion, 13-year veteran, who the county that Miami resides in is lovingly nicknamed after. No, Dwayne Wade was offered a 2-year, $20 million contract, while his hometown Chicago Bulls offered him a 2-year, $47 million contract. Dwayne obviously took the Bulls' offer. Both Wade and Riley have publicly discussed have parties regret their decision on both ends. Riley said it was as much as my fault as it was Mickey Arson's, the Heat's owner. Riley later acknowledged Riley regretted that incident. "I was sad to see him go. I was upset that he went," he shared. "I knew we could work something out, but we didn't. We did not work out the way that he wanted it to be worked out, and that's our fault."
So with the Heat, I ain't with them at that time. I didn't like how they handled me. And so I had to go. You know, I got kids. I have people that look up to me. I have decisions that I have to make. Yeah. It's certain things that I have to look at of how I'm being treated, how I'm being respected, and all these things. And I just didn't feel that was given back to me at that time in my career. I don't care. Give me the right off in the sunset contract. I deserve it, mother. That's how I was feeling. Like, I don't care. Say whatever y'all want to say about my production. I deserve it. So yes, I want it. And I didn't get it. And so I left. And do I wish that happened? I wish that didn't happen. Yeah, of course. I wish. Man, I would love to be one team. One team, one voice, one sound.
Another superstar and the most synonymous with the Miami Heat was happy with Pat Riley's handling situation that resulted in the star leaving the team. This would not be the last time Pat Riley did this. Dwayne Wade would later return to the Heat after a season and a half where he played a full season with the Chicago in the 2016-2017 season. After Chicago traded Jimmy Butler and Wade Rondo, they reached a buyout with Wade. Wade was signed with Cleveland and then be traded back to Miami during the 2017-2018 season. He resigned in the offseason to Miami and then retired after the 2018-2019 season. During the 2019 season, the Heat traded for Jimmy Butler in a 4-team trade. In Jimmy Butler's first season with the Heat, he led the Heat to the finals where he lost to the Lakers in 6, averaging 26.2 points, 8.3 rebounds, 9.8 assists, and 2.2 steals. The following season, the Heat would get swept in the first round by the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks, a result that can be accredited to the fatigue and a short turnaround from the finals during the bubble. In 2021, Butler signed a 4-year, $184 million extension to stay with the Heat. The Heat then finished with the best Eastern Conference record, but came up short in 7 games to the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. The 2022-2023 season, the Heat were playing the play-in and eventually become the 8th seed. They beat the top-seeded Bucks and beat number 2 Celtics on their way to the finals, where they would lose to the 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. With two finals trips and a conference finals trip, with Jimmy Butler's tough persona and Pat Riley's iron fist approach and their success, it sounds like a match made in heaven. With recent reports, it seems that the match made in heaven is no more. Even though they went to 2023 NBA Finals, coming into the last couple of seasons, there have been concerns in the media about the construction of the Miami Heat's roster. It is known they have a solid duo of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, but the roster around it is to be concerned. Where is it to believe results and confirm that the roster outperformed itself in the past? There were many rumors that former Portland Trailblazers star Damian Lillard wanted to play for Miami to be that scoring punch that the Heat desperately needed. But before the 2024 season, Lillard was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks to pair with superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. The only notable player that the Heat were able to acquire outside the draft is Terry Rozier. While Terry Rozier is a decent guard, he is not enough to help turn around this roster and team. As the 2024-2025 season, trade rumors surrounded Butler having become louder and louder. On Christmas Day, it's reported by Shams that Butler seek to trade out of Miami before the February 6th deadline. Usually, organizations would let these rumors go to the wayside without a comment, but Riley publicly responded the next day. We usually don't comment on rumors, but all the speculation has become a distraction to the team and is not fair to the players and coaches. Therefore, we will make it clear we are not trading Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is asked as well about wanting to stay in Miami. His first response is, "That's a good question. Who knows? I don't. But right now, I'm here, so I'm going to make the most of it." And then they continued to ask him about his trade rumors. He said, "It's a lot of talk. There's a lot of noise, which I'm cool with. It doesn't bother me at all. The traded, the not traded, I love that. I thrive on that. But it keeps y'all wondering. It does. It keeps the world wondering why y'all got to keep coming back and asking me something like this. I like it. It's good to be talked about. It's even better to be wanted, though. Remember that." It has been rumored that the strain in their relationship stemmed from Butler skipping morning shoot-arounds and taking separate flights from the team. Chris Haynes later debunked this by stating that he only has taken 5 separate flights from the team in 5 years, and 4 of them was visiting his terminally ill father during the 2023 NBA Finals. Pat Riley then sent a 10-page letter to the Players Association about Butler's missteps and then backed the suspension of Butler. This has further strained their relationship. Butler was gone for 7 games and returned against the Denver Nuggets on Friday, January 17th. Trade negotiations have seemed to stall out, and Riley's reporting not showing urgency with the trade deadline coming soon. But Butler, as of February 5th, a day before the trade deadline, has been traded in a 4-team trade to the Golden State Warriors, where the Heat received Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, and Kyle Anderson and some picks. Butler's forced Riley's hand, but it took a number of theatric suspensions and a numerous amount of events to do so. Butler is just a long line of superstars that Riley ways have made unhappy. Some may say that some of it is star fault, but the common denominator here is Riley. All of them seem to have some sort of problem with Riley at some point of their tenure. As I previously said, it's not about the X's or O's, it's about the Jimmys and Joes. Riley can't keep getting away with the makeshift rosters if he wants to see continued success in Miami. Miami has seen success not too long ago, but what does it look like without Butler on the roster? Most likely not good. With Riley aging, it has become increasingly evident that his iron fist has stars not wanting to come to Miami, in similar fashion to Jerry Jones, who hasn't won a Super Bowl since 1991. If Riley continues his ways, how long will Miami go without a championship, as it has already been 11 years since a win? Will the Heat culture have to change in order to win in this era of basketball?